On the morning of July 9th, 2023, at apartment 302 at the Heritage at Arlington Apartments on 2744 West Arlington Boulevard in Greenville, North Carolina, a 38 weeks pregnant woman, Jasmine Lynn Cooper, was in a deep argument with her 29-year-old abusive and controlling boyfriend, Kayshaun Lontell Williams. The argument turned violent, and Keyshawn snapped and attacked Jasmine. He beat her with his fists and a metal pipe. He then hit her on the head, face, and chest. Then he dragged her to their bedroom, where he strangled her with his hands. Keyshawn suddenly took a kitchen knife and stabbed her in the abdomen. After the brutal attack, Keyshawn fled from the scene. Jasmine and her unborn child died mercilessly, in the hands of Keyshawn, who was her boyfriend and the father of her unborn child. No matter how bad an argument can be, murdering your partner is pure wickedness. This is the story of Jasmine Cooper. Jasmine Lynn Cooper was born in the year 1996 in Ohio. Her mother was known as Sharon Cooper. Jasmine grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. While in high school, she nurtured his passion for storytelling and writing. After high school, she went to a college where she continued with her passion for screenwriting. After graduating from high school, she relocated to New York City to pursue her dream of becoming a screenwriter. Later on, she was employed as a journalist. Then one day she went to one of her friends' party in Greenville, North Carolina. It was there that she met a 29-year-old man named Kayshaun Williams. Keyshawn worked as a mechanic at a car dealership. The two became friends, and later on they started dating. The couple showcased their love on social media. After dating for 3 years, the couple got engaged. They then moved in together in apartment 302 at the Heritage at Arlington Apartments on 2744 West Arlington Boulevard. Soon, Jasmine got pregnant, and she was more than happy to find out that they were expecting a baby girl. She planned to name her Jasmine Lynn. However, Keyshawn was not ready to have a child yet, so he tried to pressure her into having an abortion. Jasmine was determined to keep her child. In fact, she held a baby shower party, which was attended by their friends and relatives. She was looking forward to giving birth in the month of August. Later on, the relationship between the couple began taking a different shape after Keyshawn started abusing Jasmine, who was pregnant. He would hit and choke her. He also began controlling every aspect of her life, and soon he also threatened her several times. Jasmine could no longer stay in the same roof with her jealous and abusive boyfriend, so she planned to leave the relationship. However, when Keyshawn discovered that his girlfriend was planning to leave him, he changed his behaviors and convinced her to stay with him. Jasmine loved him very much, so she decided to forget everything, and she continued staying with him. But as time went by, Keyshawn returned to his old habits. He accused Jasmine of cheating on him with another man, and he beat her so badly and also threatened to kill her if she ever leave him. Jasmine suffered serious injuries, so she went to the hospital to have her wounds treated. After being discharged from the hospital, Jasmine left her boyfriend. She also feared for her life and the life of her unborn baby. So on the 15th May 2023, she filed a restraining order against her boyfriend, Keyshawn. Jasmine went to seek help from some of her workers and some of her neighbors. Unfortunately, they all didn't believe her because they knew Keyshawn as a nice and loving man. They had been seeing their photos on social media, and they believed that they had a perfect relationship. So they instead blamed Jasmine for exaggerating her boyfriend, Keyshawn behaviors. They warned her against provoking him, and they all refused to help her. Later on, her boyfriend, Keyshawn, bought for her flowers and took her on a romantic trip at Myrtle Beach. He also bought her jewelry and clothes. He also apologized to Jasmine for his abusive behaviors, and he promised to change. Jasmine forgave him and gave him another chance. She hoped that he would keep his words and treat her better. She let everything pass, and on May 29th, 2023, she dropped the restraining order which she had earlier on filed against Keyshawn. On the morning of July 9th, 2023, Keyshawn and Jasmine got into an argument in the living room of their home. At that time, Jasmine was 38 weeks pregnant, and she was approaching her delivery day. Their arguments turned violent, and so Keyshawn snapped and attacked Jasmine. He beat her with his fists and a metal pipe. He hit her on the head, face, and chest. He then dragged her to their bedroom, where he strangled her with his hands. Keyshawn suddenly took a kitchen knife and stabbed her in the abdomen. After the brutal attack, Keyshawn fled from the scene and drove to his mother's house in West 14th Street. He then called 911 and informed them that he had found his girlfriend dead in their home. He said that he had gone to buy some groceries, and when he came back, he found his girlfriend, Jasmine, lying on the floor in a pool of blood. Keyshawn later on posted the news of his girlfriend's death on Facebook. He wrote that he couldn't live without her because he loved her so much. He added that Jasmine was his soulmate and his angel, and he didn't know what led to her death. The police arrived at Keyshawn's apartment on West Arlington Boulevard just before 10 a.m. in the morning. They found Jasmine Cooper unresponsive. She was still alive, and they called the emergency services, which arrived almost immediately. When the medics arrived, they found Jasmine Cooper critically wounded and clinging to her life. So they rushed her to ECU Health Medical Center. The doctors tried to save her unborn baby's life through emergency procedures, but they discovered that the baby's injuries were connected to the mother's injuries. So the unborn baby died inside her mother's womb. Sadly, Jasmine Cooper also died. The autopsy was done on Jasmine Cooper's body at Pitt County Medical Examiner's office. The autopsy result revealed that she died as a result of blunt force trauma to the head and strangulation. The police immediately began their investigations. While at Keyshawn's apartment, they discovered blood stain and splatters on the floor, walls, and furniture of their home. The discovery indicated that Jasmine was violently attacked and there was a struggle. They also found a metal pipe and a kitchen knife that were used as weapons to attack Jasmine. They took the weapons to the crime lab to test the blood and fingerprints that were found on them. When the result came back, they discovered that the blood and the fingerprints found on the weapons belonged to Jasmine and her boyfriend, Keyshawn. As the police continued with investigations, they found a surveillance video from the nearby convenience store. When they analyzed the footage, they saw Keyshawn buying some groceries at around 9 a.m. on 9th July 2023. The police then compared the time that Keyshawn was buying groceries in the footage and the time which he called 911 to inform them about Jasmine's death. They then realized that Keyshawn had killed her first before going to buy the groceries. So they immediately knew that he had stage managed the scene to make it look that he discovered Jasmine's body. The police also found another footage from his neighbor's surveillance camera, and when they analyzed the footage, they saw Keyshawn leaving their house at around 10:15 a.m. carrying a bag. He then entered into his car and drove away. The police immediately began tracing the location of his car, and on 15th of July, they found it on the 1100 block of Eagle Chase Lane, West 14th Street, at the house of his mother. They also found him there, and so at 11 a.m. that morning, they arrested him and charged him with 2 counts of first-degree murder of Jasmine Cooper and her unborn child. Kayshaun Williams was held in detention at Pitt County Detention Center, and he was denied bond. Jasmine's neighbors and friends were deeply shocked after they learned that she was murdered by her boyfriend, Kayshaun Williams. They apologized for not believing in her when she came to tell them what she was going through. They were also deeply sorry for not helping her when she needed their help. They wished that they could have done more to protect Jasmine from Keyshawn's abuse. Kayshaun Williams is still in police custody as he awaits for the legal process to take place. We hope that Jasmine and her unborn baby will get the justice that they deserve.